It's Dr. Amanda with Straightsmile Solutions, straightsmilesolutions.com, and today we're going to talk about what is this little hashy thing. Not this. This is normal Invisalign. What does this mean? And what's the Invisalign bite jump feature? And this has been around for a very long time. ClearCorrect has it too. It's relatively new for them because before they didn't fix bites. But basically, a lot of you are kind of freaking out when you see weird movements on your Clincheck that don't make sense. And to be honest, their bite jump feature doesn't make sense. It's not at all what happens clinically. It's just how the software works when you're using elastics or when you have some type of weird interference and your bite jumps and the bite settles, like an interference, like a cuspal interference or anterior interference or something like that. So this is the way Invisalign software, the Clin Check, what are we on, 6.0? I don't even know what we're on. This is the way they simulate it, but and I think you guys are getting wrapped up in, oh, this is what it'll look like in the mouth. No, that's not how teeth move. It's just that's the way the software is not sophisticated enough to show exactly yet how teeth are going to move. If that makes sense. And that's why you really, really don't want to be comparing each stage to the Clin Check. Like 22 looks like this. Does it look like this in the mouth? No, because that's not how things move. Anyways. So you should look, if you're seeing weird things and you want to know, is it a bite jump? All you have to do is look at the track bar at the bottom where it says the number of aligners. Just remember what all these things mean. The whiter here, the white and white over white, this is upper, this is lower. This is upper 20, this is lower 20, upper 21, lower 21, upper 22, lower 22. You get the idea. This is 25. Same thing here. Why is this one gray and this one's white? Well, this is upper, this is lower. In this case, this is lower and it's gray. That means it's a passive aligner. That means it's basically a retainer, but not made out of retainer material. No, you can't make this be the retainer because it's not retainer material. It's not thick enough to actually retain teeth. It's an aligner that's just passive. It's not doing anything. Now, you don't have to do passive aligners. You can do what sometimes I do, because I really, really hate it when something's done and then they know it's done and then they stop wearing it. So sometimes I'll say start and stop on the same aligner. That means if there's less movements on the lower than on the upper, we'll just slow it down and stage it over the whole so that all the movements are done at one time and not the lower's done before the upper. But I mean, it doesn't matter. It's really up to you, and what you want to do. But that's why there's different colors on this one versus this one. And then both of these have bite jumps. That means, and I did not have permission to share either of these patients' Clinchecks, so I can't show you what it looks like. Plus, whenever I show a Clincheck on YouTube, I get nasty letters from Align Technology saying, this is our patented information. You do not have our permission to share it on YouTube. So that's why I don't. But if you ever see this hashy thing on the last step or the last steps, you know now that it's a bite jump feature. That's actually not going to happen in the mouth. And again, anytime you have a bite jump feature, I'll want to circle back to the whole, is my articulation correct at the beginning thing? Because usually it means there's a funky interference or a funky bite at the beginning that needs to be corrected, be it with elastics or an interference. And you always, always, always want to verify your articulation. 9 times out of 10, they get it wrong. I check it on every single patient, regardless if I think it's weird. Always first step 1, I open up the Clincheck, push the occlude button at the top, which usually has a green or a red dot. If it's a red dot, that's bad. If it's a green dot, that's could be good. It's better. I look at the top or the bottom, usually the top. I look at the points, and then I verify it in the mouth, not off the iTero, in the mouth, clinically, tap, tap, grind, grind, grind around, front, top, all that. If the dots don't exactly match what's on my Clincheck, I'm going to go ahead and put in the Clincheck comment section, articulation isn't correct. I have photos with the right articulation. Please put this in needs new record status so that I can upload them. Yes, you can email them to records@aligntech.com, but 9 times out of 10, they get lost and it never gets paired. Just found that. If you did do that, you can try giving them a call, remind them it's there, and they can go in manually and find it if you tell them the time and the date that you sent it, but it's really clunky. So it's better just to ask for needs new record status. Then they're going to open up a window where you can upload photos, and it happens very, very, very quickly. Then they will repair it to your actual articulation, and then that. Because if you do not do that, especially on these weirdo cases where the bites are strange, you will have a funky outcome and you will have another gigantic refinement, and the patient is going to be super, super, super mad. And that's on you for not verifying. Remember, it's not Invisalign or Align Technology's job to verify your articulation. You're the doctor. You need to verify it. They don't know. Okay. Only you know. And I kind of wish that it would be a requirement on every case when you, especially it's more of an issue on refinements, but that you actually have those bite marks in the photos, because it's such a problem. I see so many long unnecessary refinements that really weren't needed had you gotten the articulation right to begin with, had you done this 2-second step that I recommend. That's why anytime you use the Invisalign photo uploader, anytime you take photos for either a new patient or a refinement patient, you should always use articulation paper first. Tap, tap, grind, grind, then take your photos. That way you have them. And that doesn't mean they're going to look at them. You have to tell them to look at them. And you still have to verify it, because they don't look at them unless you tell them to. So hopefully that makes sense. Please, please, please start doing this, because I've seen so much heartache. And if you forgot to do it, patient went home and you're like, shoot, this is going to be so embarrassing. I got to call the patient, bring them in, do this. No, you can throw some articulation paper in a Ziploc, throw it in the mail, and have them do it. I mean, I recommend that you do this synchronously over a Zoom so that they're doing it right, because a lot of times people, when they're tap, tap, grind, grind, they're doing it on their front teeth, they're doing an MIP, not in CR. Sometimes you have to set the job back. So you want to make sure they're doing it right. But it's better if you do it over Zoom, but depends on the bite. You could definitely have them do it at home, send you pictures through some type of HIPAA compliant way, or Invisalign virtual. Remember, don't be emailing pictures unless you have HIPAA compliant email, because it is a HIPAA violation. So anyways, all right, hopefully this was helpful. This little tip, this 1 second, 1 cent tip will save you possibly a year in treatment. It's that important. All right, thanks.